We have a big breaking update coming in. U.S. forces have eliminated multiple Iranian naval vessels, as we told you. In fact, as far as the Strait of Hormuz is concerned, there were several Iranian naval vessels there, and we're just learning that just a while back, U.S. forces have eliminated multiple Iranian naval vessels in that area. Now, the allegation that is coming from the U.S. side is that Iranian regime are blocking the Strait of Hormuz. That's a very critical waterway. That is the place from where 1/5 of the oil tankers pass through, and that is affecting the oil prices across the world. And in that backdrop, several Iranian naval vessels there have been attacked. And those are the visuals on your screen from earlier today of the attack that US has launched as far as Strait of Hormuz is concerned, and these were on the Iranian vessels there who were parked there. And in fact, another allegation that has been leveled by US is that Iran was trying to plant mines in Strait of Hormuz, and raising concern on that, they have now attacked several vessels there. On that, let me go across to my colleague Rishabh, who's been tracking all the details. Good morning, Rishabh. Take us through the latest as far as Strait of Hormuz is concerned, because the allegation that is coming from US is that Iran was planting mines there, and now they have targeted the Iranian vessels that were parked there. Take us through the latest.
Well, Akansha, if we talk about Strait of Hormuz, it is right now the most fluid region in this whole war. Strait of Hormuz, as we mentioned, adds about 20% of shipping of fuel or other shipping vessels that cross through this. This is the shortest region to enter from West Asia for the rest of Asia. A 22-mile stretch that is now being controlled by Iran. No ship is being allowed there. There have been reports that at least 3 ships have been hit by Iran while they were trying to cross Strait of Hormuz, while Iran say that they are only attacking US-Israel ships and other ships can move, but there are a clear example that no ship is safe in that region. Yesterday, the reports were very clear that U.S. intelligence does not know how much of aquatic mines Iran has, but estimate says from 2,000 to 5,000. It could be the area. The gap is way too much, from 2,000 to 5,000 mines. And if those mines are set up in Strait of Hormuz, even Navy cannot scout the vessels. Yesterday, there was a confusion. Initially, the Energy Secretary of US said that Navy has scouted a ship. The prices went down. Within 5 minutes, the tweet was deleted. US White House spokesperson in the evening said that no such ship has been spotted in Strait of Hormuz. So the situation is confusing. And with every passing hour, the US-Iran war is escalating, and Iran or US, none of them are even looking at off-ramp right now.
Absolutely, and in focus right now is the Strait of Hormuz. That's a waterway that has been blocked, and that's a big allegation that is coming from the United States. Stay on with us. In fact, let's show you another war video, mega escalation in the Gulf War. Iran has deployed a 2-ton warhead missile. On cam, you can see the Khorram-Sheher missile. In fact, as part of the wave 37 of the Operation True Promise 4, here you can see on the screen, and this is what IRGC has said, that a missile with 2-ton warheads has been in fact sent towards the bases of the terrorist US Army in the region. That continues, and these are the visuals on your screen of the attack that has been launched by Iran that is also concerned. So there is escalation as far as the West Asia war is concerned. For more on this, let me go across to Wing Commander Praful Bakshi. Thank you so much, sir, for connecting with us and for taking out the time. How do you look at this escalation? Because right now in focus is the Strait of Hormuz. There's increase in the oil and the gas prices across the world, not just in India, because that particular waterway has been, in fact, blocked by Iran, and that's a big allegation. How do you look at this entire situation that has unfolded in the last 24 hours?
The situation is getting very serious because Iran is also hell-bent to resort to heavy armament and missile and warheads on it, and so is America. So question here is now, who gives in first. But the main reason is the Strait of Hormuz, when it is absolutely not under control of the world shipping, the entire economy of the area, right from from the Gulf towards Indo-Pacific zone, is getting affected, and the world economy will get affected, because not only shipping will stop, not only the oil will get affected, there will be the air passages, sanitization of the airways, no-fly zones will be created, and the war will escalate between other countries also. Now, Saudi Arabia, America, they are all seem to be on the same net. Israel, they seem to be the same net. Iran has got only support of China and Russia. There's no doubt about it. But from the weapons point of view, but from the other point of view, barely any country is in direct support of Iran, except they paying lip service. So I personally feel that this situation is getting totally under escalation. But don't forget, America itself economy is also not very healthy, and America is in the debt also. So one has to look from that angle also, that what is Trump actually trying to do? What is it trying to do? What is it trying to finally gain the access to the totally Iran oil, and thereafter what it is going to do? As far as India is concerned, the role of India at the moment is absolutely non-involvement. It wants to make sure that some mediation takes place. But that's what India would desire, but at the moment, no firm steps have been taken towards that. And war is also escalating towards our Indian Ocean region. The submarines are operating, the ships are sinking, the ships are taking refuge in the neutral countries like Sri Lanka, like India. So I think that this is going to become a serious affair. And well, I don't say, like people say, it's going to be a world war, but certainly world will be at war.
All right.
Because so that's how it's going to be.
All right, so there are attacks and the counter-attacks, and today's day 12 of the war in West Asia, and the bombing continues. Thank you so much, sir, for connecting with us and bringing your perspective on this. We have another breaking update coming in as far as Iran's target is concerned. We're learning that just some time back, they have targeted the US-Israeli bases. They have been targeted in Iraq. Iran has fired a missile, a multi-warhead, one-ton missile that has been launched towards Iraq, is what we're learning. In a statement, IRGC has said that in the 37th wave of Operation True Promise 4, the US-Israeli enemy bases in Erbil and 5th Fleet, as well as Tel Aviv, were targeted with missiles, multi-warhead, one-ton missiles, and other missiles that they have mentioned as well. So that's, in fact, the latest that we are learning, and now the focus is also on Iraq as well. We are learning that in the latest, Iran has targeted US-Israeli bases in Iraq, and they have fired multiple missiles towards Tel Aviv, is something that we are learning so far. Let me go across to Major General Rajan Kochar. Thank you so much, sir, for connecting with us and for your time as well. How do you look at the escalating situation in between US, Israel, as well as Iran? In the last 12 days, we have seen attack as well as counter-attack. Donald Trump says that the war is going to end soon, but in fact, all we can see right now is escalation.
You see, it always happens that whenever a war is approaching its culmination, the intensity of the war increases, because both sides want to do maximum damage before they come onto the table, so that to improve their bargaining also at that point of time, and to send a message to the world that they have inflicted heavy damage on each other, because the narrative war is going to play now. And especially we are seeing from Iran side also narratives are emerging, and from the US media also narratives are emerging. Now this strike on Erbil, you see, it clearly shows that Russian intelligence is working very, very closely with Iran, because this information was coming out that U.S. was building up its base in Erbil for the further attacks on Iran, because that is the place where it can strike Natanz and Fardo and all those areas where the nuclear sites are there, because that's the closest air base from that side. And that is why the Iranian attacks have taken place, because there was intelligence available to them, and they are getting real-time intelligence, accurate intelligence, and that is why we are seeing that this time their missiles are very precise and hitting the targets with greater precision. So now I see escalation on both sides. Yesterday also Pete Hegseth has made a statement that this the escalation from the U.S. and the Israel side is going to be much more. So we see a similar kind of response from Iran. And my last point is that I think even after 12 days of war, Iran is still standing firm, because these missile attacks are still going on. So the U.S. claim to state that they have destroyed everything, obliterated everything, is not correct. Iran still has the capability to strike hard.
Right. Absolutely. And in the last few days, in fact, the US has said that they have targeted as many as 5,000 targets in Iran. And the pressure point that Iran is using is mainly Strait of Hormuz, from where 1/5 of the oil tankers pass through. So they are keeping up the pressure on each other. Thank you so much, sir, for connecting with us and getting us that perspective on the war.